Hey everyone, how's it going? Lex here. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. We're going to have a change of pace today. I'm not going to start with the upbeat, oh this is exciting, get a load of this mod that we're about to check out today, because there's no mod to check out today apart from the death of a mod and possibly the death of modding in general for GTA 5. So for those of you who don't really know what the hell's going on, and this video might be a bit of a surprise to you, especially because not all of you that watch my channel are into the modding scene. You might watch videos of mods on YouTube, but you're not someone who goes and searches for them, whether that's because you don't own GTA 5, whether because you play on console, you play on online, and you don't have the PC version, you don't mod, or anything like that. You probably won't know what's going on, so let me just explain. There is a program called Open4, some people call it OpenIV. It is a program that lets you go into the file system of GTA 5, lets you open up all the different types of files that GTA is made up of, and it allows you to tweak things such as change car models, change textures, and other things like that. You can change handling files. There's a bunch of things you can change inside of this. It is the major component of most mods in Grand Theft Auto 5. Well, the team behind this program recently got a cease and desist letter from Take-Two Interactive. Take-Two Interactive being the publishers behind Grand Theft Auto. We think that Rockstar is the developer, Take-Two Interactive is the publisher. So if you were to open up a current copy of Open4 and it updates, you will be met with this message right here. It says, Open4 was discontinued due to Take-Two Interactive request. On June 5th, 2017, we had received an official letter from Take-Two that declares modding of Take-Two games as an illegal activity and demands from us to discontinue this project. We are strongly recommending to uninstall Open4 to avoid possible legal issues. And it gives you the option to uninstall now or later. Now, for those of you who are wondering, if you do click later, it does actually load up and it does work. But for how long, we don't know. But here's the thing, I have this program because I obtained this program when it was completely fine to do so. The thing is, now you can't download this anymore. Anyone who wants to get into modding, anyone who loses this program for any reason, can no longer obtain it legally. You would have to go around and there's going to be links you may find to get this, and people could be malicious with this and put viruses and say, look, this is Open4, download this and it's a virus. It's going to be very difficult to obtain this software now. But for those of us that do have it, for the time being, it looks like we can still use it. As you can see, I am going through and I'm looking through all the file system within GTA 5, and I could change stuff and add stuff to it with the mods that are already readily available. There's actually plenty more I want to say about the future of modding, but I'm going to leave that till later on in the video for now. But let's just go back to this here. This is a forum thread by Good NTS. He's the lead developer for Open4, and here he is explaining what has gone on. So he says, we have feared this day would come, and now it's here. The day when GTA modding was declared illegal. GTA modding had a long and glorious history. Since GTA 3, people have created lots of different mods, from simple texture replacements to impressive full conversions. And the modding was always a grey zone, a battlefield between lawyers and public relations. For almost 10 years of Open4 development, we had tried to play as nice as possible, and even more. They strictly followed the civil code of Russia, only reverse engineering for interoperability, if I've said that word right, only clean room, reverse engineering, no distribution of original data and code, and absolutely no messing with GTA 5's online mode. And as they say here, on June the 5th, they had received an official cease and desist letter. It clearly says that Open4 had allowed third party to defeat security features of its software and modify that software in violation Take-Two rights. I do want to point out that does say in violation Take-Two's rights. I haven't read that wrong. That was the writing taken apparently from the cease and desist letter. As they pointed out, it is illiterate both technically and grammatically. They haven't posted the full cease and desist letter. I'm not sure if they will be doing that. But that first point is a concern for me, because that makes me wonder if maybe this is not genuine. This is not the first time we've had fake cease and desist letters look like they were sent by a big company when in fact they weren't. I know there was actually Ark. Someone had made a Pokemon mod for it, and there was a big deal with the cease and desist. People thought it was sent by Nintendo. It was actually sent by a rival mod maker who was also working on a Pokemon mod for the game. So that part there is a bit of a concern for me. However, That cease and desist letter was sent on the 5th of June, and it was declared and was taken down, or Open4 was taken down on the 14th last night as I'm making this video, which makes me think that they've had enough time to sort of work out if this is legitimate and if this is genuine. So for now, it's poorly written, but it seems right now that it is actually a legitimate cease and desist letter. As I pointed out, yes, they can go to court and yet again prove that modding is fair use and their actions are legal. They could, but they've decided not to. Going to court will take at least a few months of their time and huge amounts of efforts, and at best, they'll get absolutely nothing out of it. Spending time just to restore status quo is really unproductive, and all the money in the world can't compensate for the loss of time. So, they have decided to agree with their claims, and they are stopping distribution of Open4. They say it was a hard decision, but when any modding activity has been declared illegal, they can't see any possibilities to continue this process unless top management of Take-Two company makes an official statement about modding, which can be used in court, because at this moment in time, they have not made any official statement on this. And they go on to say many thanks to the modding community for all the fantastic creations. So long, and thanks for all the fish. So where has it gone from here? Well, loads of major news outlets are starting to cover this, or at least major gaming outlets. PC Gamer here, talking about the fact that it's been shut down. Kotaku, again, loads of different sites have been covering this. This basically covers what has happened. Here, they're just explaining what's happened, but let's now dive into why it has happened, or at least speculate on why I think this has happened. So the first speculation that people had was that this was taken down in an attempt to stop modding in GTA Online. Now, this would make sense because if you would have noticed from the latest gun running DLC update, there was this little thing that came up at the start of GTA Online. We hope you have fun in GTA Online and enjoy all the latest content updates. Don't cheat or your account will be suspended. This is a whole new thing that's just appeared. It makes it sound like they're really cracking down on modders in online. The problem is this doesn't work with Open4 because Open4 had nothing to do with online modding. Those people that actually made mods and hacks to work in GTA Online didn't actually need to use Open4 at all. They would have different scripts that would run separately. I think they also did like memory hacking to change data inside of the game files, and that was how they could hack online. So this doesn't actually solve GTA Online's hacking issue at all. So this moves on to the next reason why I think that Take-Two have started to attack the Open4 team, and that is this. They had announced recently that they were going to be adding Liberty City into GTA 5. Now, the problem is this would actually be illegal. Whether there is the grey line between whether modding is actually illegal and whether the concept of the Open4 program is illegal and that it allows you to get inside their files, this one actually is illegal because if you were to have downloaded this mod once it was released, they would be giving you the files for the Liberty City map, which is intellectual property of Take-Two and Rockstar. So this would actually be illegal. Now, there is that sort of grey line, especially when you're talking about emulators and ROMs, that, you know, if you were to have downloaded a ROM, if you own the game in real life, then it's technically legal because you already own a copy. Again, it's the same thing here. I've bought GTA 4 more than once because I definitely bought it for console and then I bought it for PC as well. So I technically would own the rights to have that thing, but again, there is this sort of legal thing here where this mod would actually be illegal. There's also, this is actually a real shame that this is not coming out because this, as I did recently, anyone who watches this channel would have seen the recent Liberty City video that I did, and I was getting really excited for this because it would have basically been GTA 4 with better graphics and more car options and better performance as well because GTA 4 was just notoriously poorly optimized as well. So to give credence to this claim that this map mod might have something to do with this, anyone that might have remembered the Red Dead Redemption map mod for GTA 5, well, they had another similar experience where they had been forced and contacted to take it down because, again, it was intellectual property of Take-Two because it was the Red Dead Redemption map, and they didn't want that being put into GTA 5 and being distributed because people didn't have the rights to it and it was their property. So I can sort of agree with them there. I think that's perfectly fine. It is a shame because it would be amazing to play in Liberty City and it would be amazing to play on the Red Dead Redemption map instead of GTA 5, but I do understand why they did it. So even if it wasn't true and that the Liberty City map mod had absolutely nothing to do with it, there is the other issue that Open4 was a program that was used partially in the creation and running of things such as 5M, which was, for those of you that don't know, a sort of third-party online mode where people could play online in GTA without having to use Rockstar's official servers, which would obviously mean that people wouldn't be able to buy shark cards, there'd be no money generated, and it was sort of seen by them as a circumvention of using GTA Online and obviously spending money with shark cards and stuff like that. So in the past, Take-Two have actually sent private investigators to modders' homes in order to get them to stop and halt what they were doing. In this case, it was about 5N. I believe there was a couple of others as well that this happened to. But this bit here about Take-Two sending private investigators this is where I want to go on to next. Just the general attitude of Take-Two when it comes to policing their property and also making money. So leading on from Take-Two's attitude on this whole thing, we have this article here from a couple of weeks ago in The Escapist that says Take-Two CEO says the company is under-monetizing its users. Strauss Zelnick, the CEO of Take-Two, said that it wasn't maximizing its transaction business, saying we are convinced that we are probably, from an industry view, under-monetizing on a per-user basis. There is wood to chop because I think we can do more, and we can do more without interfering with our strategy of being the most creative and our ethical approach, which is delighting consumers. Now, this is the bit, because as far as I'm concerned, what they've done here is definitely interfering on their strategy of being the most creative and ethical, in my opinion, because this is taking essentially a game away that people have bought in some way in order to force you to play their other version, which they can make more money from. Presuming that they did all of this and they got rid of Open 4 to force people to go online and then use their shark cards and everything else, instead of like every time they're doing an update, people playing on single player and using a mod that gives them all the cars that otherwise they would have had to buy in GTA Online. Ironically, Zelnick has acknowledged that you can go too far in charging players for every last bit of content, saying you can't give stuff away for free in perpetuity, but we're not trying to optimize the monetization of everything we do to the nth degree. My concern is that if you do that, the consumer knows. They might not even know that they know, but they feel it. The thing is, we do know. This is so obvious what they have done here. It couldn't be more obvious that this whole thing is really just a power grab so that they can make more people play on GTA Online. And when you play on GTA Online and realize just how weighted GTA Online is into forcing you into buying shark cards, because the amount of time it takes to actually make money is diabolical in that game, and it really, really forces you. You'll have reluctance in the end. If you want to get the stuff you want to play with and the cool new cars, most people reluctantly have to get a shark card. And that's what they're doing. They're just trying to force more people into the online, trying to say, well, you know, stop playing single player, stop adding all this cool stuff, because we're not making money from it. We want to make money. But it's a bit ironic that only just a couple of weeks ago that they said that they weren't trying to optimize the monetization of everything they do to the nth degree. Maybe they thought that there wouldn't be much backlash over this. Clearly a stupid view. So, they're worried about money. Are they losing money? What's going on? Are they almost bankrupt? Well, actually, no. Let's just look at this news release here, talking about the results of the fiscal third quarter of 2017. Their net revenue grew 15% to $476.5 million. Digitally delivered net revenue grew 64% to $240.2 million as compared to $146.4 million in the last year's fiscal third quarter. So they are still making money, and they are making more money than they made the year before. And as they pointed out, the largest contributors to digitally delivered net revenue in fiscal third quarter 2017 were GTA 5 and GTA Online, and also Civilization 6 and NBA 2017. Let's just focus on Grand Theft Auto Online here. They make a lot of money from shark cards. A seriously huge amount of money. And I guess they want more. They definitely aren't losing money. They're making plenty of money, but they think that they can squeeze a tiny bit more, and they're happy to annoy the community whilst doing it. Just to point out for a second here, I am talking about Take-Two Interactive, and I'm not aiming this towards Rockstar Games, because actually, Rockstar Games in the past have promoted modding for GTA. As you can see, this is an old video about GTA 4 when there was a zombie invasion mod and also the ice enhancer tools, changing all the graphics. They were saying, look at everyone, this is the amazing stuff our community can do. they are clearly supportive of the mod community. Again, another thing that they posted about excitement about the original GTA map being imported into GTA 4 and being converted to work on the Rage engine and everything else like that. Just another example of them supporting mod makers. And here they actually answered a question relating to PC mods from Grand Theft Auto 5. It says, I'm having so much fun with GTA 5 on the PC, but I have just one question about it. How come you are not allowing mods for it? Will I get banned from GTA Online for using the Field of View mod or the Oculus Rift mod? And they answered, we have always appreciated the creative efforts of the PC modding community, and we still fondly remember the awesome Zombie Invasion mod and the original GTA map mod that I just showed you previously for GTA 4 and PC, among many other classics. To be clear, the modding policy in our license has not changed and is the same as for GTA 4. Recent updates to GTA 5 PC had an unintended effect of making unplayable certain single-player modifications. This was not intentional. No one had been banned for using single-player mods, and you should not worry about being banned or being relegated to the cheater pool just for using single-player PC mods. This basically talking about the fact that they don't really mind it's happening so long as you're not messing with online, as they go on to say, our primary focus is on protecting GTA Online against modifications that could give players an unfair advantage, disrupt gameplay, or cause griefing. And as we pointed out previously, getting rid of Open4 does nothing to solve that issue. But in general, Rockstar seem to have a positive approach to modders, which is why I really can't wait to see what Rockstar have to say about this, because I don't know, maybe just Take-Two have just got, because they're higher up, they're the publishers, maybe they've got power over them, maybe Rockstar actually in some way wanted this to happen. I'm not entirely sure, but for now, I'm not going to blame Rockstar. All my blame is on Take-Two Interactive. So what does this mean for the future of Grand Theft Auto 5 and mods and just gaming in general? Well, this seems to just be a whole focus now in the gaming industry towards microtransactions. And as people have pointed out, it's going to stay because people buy it. I mean, if people would flat out refuse years ago that they weren't going to buy into microtransactions, then it probably wouldn't have become a thing. But it is just so prevalent in today's gaming market. There's so many things. The thing is, in my personal view, I don't mind it. So long as that it doesn't take away from the game originally and that you are not forced to do it. And I feel that the way Take-Two has gone by getting rid of Open4, they have sort of forced it upon us because they've taken away the one thing that creates longevity in single player, and the only longevity left in the GTA franchise is GTA Online. So I feel that that is in some way forced, which is the bit that I don't agree with, but microtransactions is the future, whether we like it or not. When it comes to the future of games under Take-Two, well, Kerbal Space Program was recently bought by Take-Two Interactive, a game which heavily relies on mods, from what I understand, and I just assume it's going to go the same way. They're going to find ways to get rid of the mods, and they're going to find ways to just sell DLCs and microtransactions to you. So if you are a Kerbal Space Program fan, I would probably be concerned right about now for the future of the game that you know and love. So what does it mean for the future of Grand Theft Auto 5 mods? Well, I'm not entirely sure, because the main thing that goes along with Open4 is Scripthook 5. Now, Alexander Blade, the person who runs the Scripthook 5 mod and develops it, is actually part of the Open4 team. And if Open4 have been spooked by this whole Cease and Desist, there is a chance that Alexander Blade might not ever update Scripthook 5, which means that we will be stuck forever using the currently previous version of GTA, and the new version is completely off limits and is no longer moddable for anyone, because Scripthook 5 was the thing that we needed to run things like the ASI loader, which loaded up Native Trainer, menus mod, map editor, all that sort of stuff went through Scripthook 4. So without that, there's just no future unless someone else comes along and can do the same thing, someone who is not spooked and hasn't had to deal with Take-Two and their legal threats. So I don't know what's going to happen, but I imagine for the immediate future, it's probably going to slow down the amount of mods and modding that goes on in GTA 5. If it does turn out that Scripthook 5 does get updated and everything starts working on the latest update, well, Open4 does still work. I can still go into Open4, I can find an RPF file, and I can go into it, I can see all the files, the YTF things. Some of these do work, some of these don't work, but as you can see, I can actually go in and find different things. I have no clue what this is for, but it's clearly for something, and I can do stuff and change it and edit it. So for now, that bit's still there. The problem is, now that you can no longer obtain it yourself, you have to find different ways to obtaining it, and those ways aren't legal. And so what this means is that those that already mod and have used mods can continue to use mods, at least on the previous version of GTA, which works with the latest version of Scriptoke 5. But anyone who is new to this or wants to get into this really can't get into it anymore unless they go and find a dodgy copy of, or just a re-uploaded version of Open 4. Definitely having to make sure that people aren't going to be using this in a malicious way to sort of like hide a virus inside of a fake version of Open 4, now that we can't get it in like an official way. So I think generally what's going to happen from this, if it continues the way Scriptoke 5 no longer updates and anything like that, then the mods will just die because people can't mod. There'll still be a small community. It will be a very small underground community. It won't be so mainstream. And because it will no longer be mainstream, it will mean that no one will be able to join in with the fun of mods, and mod making will just sort of slowly disappear. People won't be making mods. There'll be no one to make mods for, and the community will just sort of die. But as I said, it is still sort of obtainable, and for now, I think if I can get mods to work, at least for my channel, for those of you wondering about what I'm going to be doing, if I can get mods to work on GTA again, I do still want to do videos on them, purely because I love the game so much in its single player and moddable form, that if I can do videos on mods, I will continue to do them. But I'll have to let you guys know what's going on. I have got like a couple of videos that I have already filmed, and I have got loads of mods downloaded that I would love to still work with. Maybe I'll just like keep my older version of GTA 5 that I'll have to like block the updates from happening on, and well, we just have to see. Some of you might be thinking, Lex, why don't you sort of protest this and stop playing GTA as a way to like show a sign to Take-Two? Yeah, I sort of get that, but in the same way, me playing in single player mode and trying to mod as much as I can, in my way, is my protest against Take-Two, because this is what they don't want you to do anymore. So as long as I can continue to do modded GTA, I'm going to try and do it. That's just my protest. I think to try and stop playing the game, it could send a sign, but I feel that not playing online and not buying shark cards is a far bigger sign, in my opinion. But for those of you wondering about content on my channel, there are still loads of other games that I could play. It would be a massive shame if eventually GTA 5 videos just stop happening. But there are loads of other games that I hope that you guys would enjoy watching me play. Because if you're just here for the GTA 5 stuff, well, you might not need to watch me much longer, which is kind of worrying. But actually, to get away from like being selfish about, oh no, what am I going to do about my YouTube channel, and just looking at a bit more about what's going to happen with the GTA community, well, there were so many like splinter communities within the mod community. There's like LSPDFR, there were the people that did role-playing online with 5M. All of these things are going to disappear, which means like the role-playing content's probably going to go. All this sort of stuff, it's just such a shame. But it does seem that so many communities, including the machinima making community, all of that sort of stuff could be completely dried up as a result. So you might be really upset and angry and thinking, Lex, what can I do? How can I stop this? Is there any way that I can protest this? Well, as I've explained, people did want to protest by not playing GTA 5. I think the best protest is by not playing online and not buying the shark cards, which I have done since day dot. I have never... If I've played a few hours of online, it's all right, but as I've pointed out, it is weighted to you wanting to buy shark cards, and I refuse to do that. I don't like the system. It's completely unfair to people who don't have much money and who don't want to spend more money than the money they've already spent. Some of us have bought this game multiple times for different systems. It is the 4th biggest selling game of all time. 80 million copies. The game that's in 3rd place, which is Wii Sports, has 82 million. So it's only 2 million purchases away from being the 3rd biggest game of all time, and the 1st biggest game of all time is Tetris. And there's millions of versions of Tetris that have spanned across consoles and things for decades. So this is, I mean, what else is there? Minecraft in 2nd place. This is one of the biggest selling games of all time. And I've bought this game multiple times for Xbox 360 version originally, and then PC for the original like case version with the CDs that I've bought. And I was going to buy it again for Steam because I just liked having it instead of having all the CDs. I could just download the game in a much easier way. but I'm not going to buy it for Steam. I was going to, but there's no point in me doing that now. So I guess that is part of my protest as well, not buying it for a third time. Oh dear. So yeah, I think the way that you can protest this is by just not buying the game again if you were going to buy it, not buying shark cards, not playing online. There is what people are doing here on the Steam page. As you can see from the user reviews, it's currently recently mixed. Only 48% of the recent user reviews in the last 30 days have been positive. That's because people have been spamming negative reviews. All of this going on, these were all posted 14th of June, 14th of June, 14th of June, 15th of June. All of these, thousands of people voting this up. Huge negative feedback. I think the other protest you could do is to try and send it for a refund on Steam, because that would go back to the publishers as well, because they would be able to see this huge storm of people trying to get a refund on it. Even if you've played for hundreds of hours, you can still submit it to Steam for consideration. So I think just doing that could even be a sort of well, I bought this for mods, I can't mod it anymore, thus the game is not what I bought. I bought it for something, we're not allowed to do that anymore. Can I have a refund? So there is a possibility that you could do that if you really wanted to protest this thing. As you can see, the overall rating is 79% and is now mostly positive. I think it was actually very positive at one point. I don't know, considering there's 200,000 reviews, if we're ever going to get it below mostly positive, but I think that mixed is still some sort of a sign. On top of that, of course, there is this petition here where you can go and sign this. It's petitioning to Rockstar Games and Take-Two, basically explaining that this thing's been running for 10 years. It's for loads of little communities that are unrelated to online. We don't really want to buy online. It's not for us. Again, I'm part of the group of people who just don't like online, and they only like playing GTA 5 for single player. LSPDFR, which I really wish I could have played, that never really worked for me. But I played that on GTA 4, and Open 4 was also part of GTA 4. So again, I can't play LSPDFR for GTA 4 anymore in that case. All of these things, the role-playing community, all of that, that is what this whole process thing is trying to explain to these people, that actually we're not the people you should be going after. This isn't going to generate them more money. I'm not sure if this is really going to do anything, but do you know what? If it makes you feel better and it makes you feel like you're doing something, go ahead and sign it. I'm going to put a link in the description below where you can sign this petition. But I do have my reservations and fears about none of this actually really bothering them, because at the end of the day, lots and lots of people who play the game don't mod the game, they don't play the PC game, and they are the sort of people that will reluctantly pay for shark cards because it is a game that is very good and people want to play this game. It's the game all their friends play. They want to, keep up with their friends with all of their cars, and it's something that I know that even if they get rid of this, they probably won't lose much money. We just have to hope that by making this, speaking out and making these petitions and voting all this stuff on Steam, it in some way just shows them that there is a community here and that it reflects badly on them. And I think the best we can hope for is that they could see the errors of their ways and take 2 steps back, see what I did there, and, think, well, maybe we shouldn't do this and we shouldn't attack these people we've supported us for years and years and bought multiple copies of our games and everything else. But I think that's going to be it. That's pretty much it for this video. I'm actually just going to put some comments right here on the screen. Normally I would feature comments if you're watching this video. You're not really a normal viewer of mine. You're just sort of trying to understand this whole situation. These are comments from the previous video. I will be featuring some comments from this video in the next one as well, so don't forget to just leave a comment about your thoughts about this entire thing, and I'll feature some randomly in the next video. Don't forget, you can also follow me on Twitter, @Figureight. Links for my Twitter are in the description below. I will be tweeting if ever there is an update about this and mods come back or something happens. Of course, it will be mentioned on this channel. It will be mentioned on my Twitter. So definitely make sure to check me out on those things if you don't already. So that's going to be it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. It is a real shame. I really wish I never had to make this video. Hopefully this isn't the end and that this is all just a bit of hysteria and that maybe things will continue, even if it's just slightly not as big as it was. If we could still play mods on single player, I'll be a happy man, but we'll have to see. So there we go, guys. That is it. Thank you so much for watching, and I shall see you all next time. Goodbye.